Hi, this is Morley and this is the M-Wire. My apologies for my absence, folks. I was really sick for a couple of days. Could barely move, to be honest with you, so my apologies for not putting out a La Palma update or any other update for that matter. But folks, things have dramatically changed on the island of La Palma. After several days of relative quiet activity, we now have this. Take a look at that, will you? La Cumbre Vieja is just blowing sky high right now. To be honest with you, considering I've been following this eruption for what's been months now, I have never seen La Cumbre Vieja erupt quite like this. If you have, please let me know in the comments below. This is a much larger eruption than we've seen from the main cone since this started on the 19th of September. Just take a look at how fast the lava is flowing from La Cumbre Vieja. This is a very violent eruption, folks. That cannot even be refuted at this point. All you need to do is take a look at the video that I'm showing you right here and now. I've said repeatedly that this volcano is nowhere close to being done, and this proves my prognostication to be correct. Now, I've been taking a look on Twitter. They estimate that this plume of fire is, get this folks, between 20 and 25,000 feet high. That is a lot. The ash advisory on La Palma right now is severe. They were about to lift a lockdown and they reinstated the lockdown because of the poor air quality to approximately 30,000 residents. This is quite a serious situation that is happening on the island right now. Around 24,500 residents in Los Llanos de Arian, El Paso, and Tazacorte, a third of La Palma's inhabitants, were asked to stay indoors due to emissions of sulfur dioxide that had reached extremely adverse levels, authorities said. In affected municipalities, residents were told to stay inside while students were told to remain in schools and parents not to pick them up until the air quality cleared. However, a few hours later, emergency services lifted the order thanks to an improvement in the air quality data and said students would leave school at the regular time. We're all a bit scared, said 64-year-old Carlos Ramos in Los Llanos de Arian, explaining that nothing similar had happened with previous eruptions on the island. Now, this is a guy that's old enough to remember the 1971 eruption. So he's comparing it to that, and obviously he thinks that this eruption far surpasses anything that he's ever seen, which was that one, and perhaps he has relatives living on the island that told him about the 1949 eruption, which he obviously wasn't around for, but the fact that he is remarking that this is like nothing like this has ever happened from someone of his age is very telling. We'll see how it all ends because I just don't trust it, the volcano, and I'm not really sure it's ever going to end. Lava flows have damaged or destroyed at least 2,910 buildings according to the EU satellite monitoring system Copernicus, forcing the evacuations of thousands of people from their homes on the island, part of the subtropical Canaries archipelago. So it's interesting to see the big uptick in sulfur dioxide in and around the same time that we saw the major blast from the main vent there. These things obviously have some correlation for sure. Now, unfortunately, Volcano Discovery does not have a Monday update out yet, but I'm going to get into their Sunday report here as it does provide some more details in regards to this latest massive lava ejection from the main vent of the volcano. Around noon local time, a sudden large explosion occurred at the main crater of the cone, producing a steam and ash plume that rose quickly to be an estimated 5,000 to 6,000 meters in altitude. The event was likely a so-called volcanic explosion, typically caused when a larger plug in the upper conduit has formed and is suddenly thrown out when gas pressure underneath overcomes a threshold comparable to a cannon shot mechanism. Today's explosion might be due to the fact that the conduits have been gradually closing up, filling with debris in the upper parts as supply of rising material is less abundant. This fits with the model that the eruption has entered its final waning stage, but also creates highly dangerous conditions because such explosions could and likely will repeat in the days to come. Now, Volcano Discovery is still of the opinion that this volcano is waning despite this massive explosion here. Folks, I don't think we're anywhere close to concluding that. Not even close. We see a few days of reduced activity, then all of a sudden something happens. I really don't think that this volcano is anywhere near done. If you happen to differ with me, so be it. But I think we're in for quite a ride here with this volcano yet. Apart from this, the eruption now on its 87th day of activity, being the longest in recorded history on La Palma Island, has continued at low levels similar as in the past days. There is now mainly steaming with occasional smaller explosions at the main cone. While lava effusion continues at a reduced rate, the arriving lava first goes into the tube system and feeding flows in similar areas as during the past days, overlapping older flows. Seismic activity has been low, with only 24 quakes detected during 24 hours, the maximum being a 3.2 event. Deformation and tremor remain basically unchanged at low values, although the explosion earlier resulted in a short-lived intense tremor peak. Folks, they're of the opinion that this is slowing down. I'm not. I think we're going to see more of this, and I think we might even see larger explosions. Despite the reduced earthquake activity, there's still a lot of things plugged in there, and all it takes is one large earthquake in that submagma chamber to get the earthquakes rolling again. We watch and we wait. Which brings us to, are you prepared if the worst happens with La Palma if you live on the eastern seaboard of the United States? Do you have a plan? Do you have a bug-out bag? Do you have a place to go if the worst happens? If you can answer no to all of those questions, you need to devise one. A little preventative maintenance on your part may very well decide whether or not you live to tell about it or not. It is much better to err on the side of caution, folks. All this might be for nothing, but if you do need to get out quickly, you will be glad that you've taken a few basic precautionary measures to make it easier for yourself. But thank you so much for coming along with me to this very important update on La Palma. Please share this video, as this is a very underpublicized event by the MSM. They've only been reporting on it here and there, and quite frankly, for something like this, in my opinion, that's just not good enough. But thank you so much for coming along with me to my update. Please remember to like, to comment, to share, and of course to subscribe. And until the next update, God bless.